authorities say COVID-19 is killing one American every minute and a half as deaths surge across the U.S.
A FEMA memo obtained by ABC News shows deaths from the virus rose by 30% in the last week.
With the U.S. death toll about to surpass 150,000, President Trump falsely claimed last night that much of the country is free of the virus. He also once again defended the drug hydroxychloroquine.
Doesn't seem to be too popular. You know why? Because I recommend it. When I recommend something, they like to say don't use it.
Fauci not mincing words about the president's recommendation.
The overwhelming prevailing clinical trials that have looked at the efficacy of hydroxychloroquine have indicated that it is not effective in coronavirus disease.
One of the nation's largest teachers union now saying it will support teacher strikes in areas that reopen classrooms without adequate safety measures. Some school districts in California say parents are skipping signing kids up for school altogether.
We're down about 50% where we were last week in our kindergarten enrollment.
In New York, schools have until Friday to come up with a plan for the year. But new progress is being made on a vaccine. Two companies, Moderna and now Pfizer, are beginning large-scale trials after just months.
That's not happened before in human history as far as we can tell in the developed world. So an incredible achievement. It is very credible that we could have the high tens of millions of doses of FDA authorized or approved vaccine this year.
The chief executives for the world's biggest tech companies preparing to appear on Capitol Hill for a historic antitrust hearing. Amazon's Jeff Bezos, Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg, Apple's Tim Cook, and Google's Sundar Pichai, a group that includes two of the world's richest men. They're expected to face questions over whether the size of their companies stifle competition. In his prepared statement obtained by ABC News, Zuckerberg will tell lawmakers that companies aren't bad just because they're big, adding Facebook became successful the American way by starting out with nothing and providing products that people find valuable. Zuckerberg telling a Senate committee 2 years ago that Facebook has a lot of competitors.
Apps to email.
It's the same service you provide.
Well, we provide a number of different services.
Is Twitter the same as what you do?
It overlaps with a portion of what we do.
You don't think you have a monopoly?
It certainly doesn't feel like that to me.
Okay.
Bezos, who's never testified in front of Congress before, will focus on his personal background in his prepared remarks, calling himself a garage inventor who, as a teenager, invented an automatic gate closer out of cement-filled tires, a solar cooker out of an umbrella and tinfoil, and alarms made from baking pans to entrap my siblings. Some lawmakers have repeatedly argued for the breakup of big tech companies, including Senator Elizabeth Warren.
You don't get to be the umpire and have a team in the game.
But many financial experts insist big tech companies benefit the economy, including the vice chairman of Morgan Stanley, who recently told CNBC, "What would we have done during the pandemic if we didn't have companies like Amazon?"
And partisan snipping prevailed during a long-awaited hearing on Capitol Hill featuring Attorney General William Barr. He defended the federal response to civil unrest in several cities, including Portland. And in response to criticism from Democrats, Barr denied using the Justice Department to help President Trump politically.
I'm supposedly punishing the president's enemies and helping his friends. What enemies have I indicted?
Are peaceful protests violent, Mr. Attorney General?
No.
Do peaceful protests destroy businesses?
No.
Do peaceful protests injure officers?
No.
Can you commit today that the department will not use federal law enforcement as a prop in the president's re-election campaign?
We are not using
I just want to
federal
close. And now you are projecting fear and violence nationwide in pursuit of obvious political objectives. Shame on you, Mr. Barr.
Can I just say, Mr.
Shame on you.
Can I just
My
say,
time
Mr.
has expired.
Barr was also asked about the president's claim that the election will, quote, be rigged. Barr said he has no reason to think that it will be.
Hey, everybody. Meteorologist Rob Marciano here, tracking the tropics. Hot on the heels of Hurricane Hannah is our next system in the Caribbean. Isaias forecast to be a pretty strong tropical storm later on today and then through tonight as it heads towards Puerto Rico. So all the islands in the northeast Caribbean, including Puerto Rico, are under tropical storm warnings for impacts that will include winds well over 40 miles an hour, maybe 50, 60 miles an hour later on tonight as it passes Puerto Rico with some heavy rain Dominican Republic tomorrow. Interacting with some land here will probably keep the intensity down, but it'll be raking Cuba, probably Turks and Caicos and the Bahamas. Saturday, Sunday, here's where the low confidence comes in. How strong is this? Where does it go? It looks like Florida is going to be under the gun in some way, shape, or form. So this is of concern, of course. As is a more immediate concern is Puerto Rico. I think tonight, not just wind, but flooding rains and some of the terrain, as you know, there can cause some mudslides, especially if we get up to 10 inches of rain. Dangerous surf as well. And then this will be traversing towards Turks and Caicos and the Bahamas as we head towards Friday. Very important forecast. They're flying hurricane hunters in and out of this thing. We're trying to get a better handle on it here in the next day or two as it approaches the U.S.